Welcome everyone, Kristen here. It is Tuesday, March 10th, and I tried to get a full moon video out yesterday, and it was a really good reading. But there was so much interference in getting that video out to you, and it was wild. So I was like, okay, I guess the message is supposed to be telepathically sent and to be felt rather than articulated. So I hope you all had a really cleansing, clearing, cleaning Virgo full moon, and now we have stepped through that full moon threshold, and we are moving into a set of cards here, and I'm just going to read them as I pulled them. They're a bit intense, and I drew clarifiers. So the first card out is oppression. And this in the traditional tarot is the devil card. And I like how it's depicted here, and that this being is veiled. Because in fact, that is what the devil is. It is the illusion of separation, like not being able to see the cloak, the veil of this illusory reality, being trapped in the third dimension of the material world. Even though it is real because we are experiencing it, we are not limited and confined to that world. There are multi-dimensions beyond, and the getting caught up in the traps of fear and the propagation of fear and how viral that can be internally and in the human collective. It's something to be very aware of, and this is a card of being very aware of this force field that we get trapped inside of, and that hooks us pretty easily, especially when there is something like the coronavirus, happening, and kind of like the collective and the fear. There it is. One thing to be discerning and to up-level your health and your wellness and your, sanitary habits, and to become aware of, the way germs are exchanged, right? This is a very alive petri dish, the Earth ecosystem. So we, and the population is growing, and these are very, the biological world is something to think about more and more, not to the point of paranoia. That paranoia and that gripping of fear and feeling entrapped by maybe obsessive thoughts, or it can be an over the devil. It could be that fear. It could be being trapped by the fear, and it could also be a rebellion from it and saying, oh, nothing, F it, there's nothing wrong and nothing out there. That's a denial. So both are something to watch out for in your own processing. The clarity card, or the what do I want to say? The pairing card with that was the Emperor. And the Emperor came out reversed, and I don't read reversals a lot, but when it's paired with the oppression card, I am going to read it in reverse, that, there is some sort of, power and control mechanism that's not using the, infrastructure of power to the benefit of the people. There is some sort of like gripping happening where, just this mass production of fear through news media is something to turn off. If you feel like you're watching some sort of reality TV show where they are dramatizing events, just get on the CDC website. They give very practical information on, how to, deal with what is at hand, and it's very helpful. If you're feeling like you're watching something and you're getting gripped into something that's giving you fear and anxiety, and it's propagating those, if you feel like your immune system's dropping because you're being exposed to some sort of rhetoric that is like inoculating your brain with fear, turn it off and just find another news source, relating to the coronavirus. Just go to the Center for Disease Control website if you're in the United States or whatever your comparable one is in your country, and get real information that is going to be useful. So this kind of shows me there's a little bit of something, this fear and control thing, just be aware of it. That's kind of in the past energies. So in the present, we're seeing the Ace of Wands, which is a very nice, strong energy, a very like self-empowering energy, where this shows like an activation of your immune system, and to really shine the light inside your own cells and your own microbiome. Find out how to up-level and activate and energize your own physical body, clean out your own physical environments. This is the Kundalini Shakti. This is the surge of a healthy spine, and really, kind of like taking your power and back from, the fear, and to really build your immune system. And the pairing partner for that card was the Two of Crystals, which is a real balancing of environment. If there's been some overwhelm with all the stuff going on, this is really showing us that I bring balance to your environment. And what is balance for you? What does your diet look like? How are you, taking the vitamins and getting the minerals and the nutrients that your system needs for heightened function, because we are getting hit with something in the collective immune system, and it's a smart time to take your health to that next positive level. So I like that kind of like empowering, activating these two cards. Ooh, I always drop these cards. These two cards in the present moment. This is just kind of activate the positive psychology and take action in strengthening and balancing yourself and your environment. And the future is the Star card. We've got this card of Aquarius. This is the Aquarian age, and to activate, to utilize technology and this like global network that can be so positive and so much light infused and so much connection, right? And it's weird because it's like a lot of the global connection happens through the technology, but like on an individual level, it is that technology that can kind of create an isolation, right? So it's kind of finding this, we're just like weaving into the 21st century and this Aquarian age. There's been a thousands of year cycle of the Piscean age that's coming to a close, and we're, if we're alive now, we're the kind of the transition team into, this new Aquarian age, and technology is a part of it, but it's how to activate really the inner technology to really awaken what the human body, mind, heart, and soul complex is really about. And we, this inner cosmos, we know so much and we know so little. And, there's so much for us to activate, and so many aspects of our endocrine system that have been lying dormant because or have been oppressed and suppressed because of this fight or flight, this overproduction of adrenaline and cortisol, right? And a lot of times it is the technology and some of this modern life living that actually, it's the stress of the modern living that can really suppress, the production of those, our vasopressin and oxytocin and some of these like positive feel-good chemicals, the overproduction of that fight or flight response that we're like stuck in with our short breathing and this stressful reality. of just, you know, the quickness of modern living. We really need to look into how we're exercising intelligence. Are we giving a lot of our life force energy to the artificial intelligence, these computers and screens outside of us? Are we giving enough time to the intuitive and organic intelligence of this physical body, of the breath, of the oxygen pumping from the lungs into the blood? And you know, the star card represents so much to me, and this is what we really need to be, you know, to move from like the cloaking, the veil, and realize that reality is veiled. We have to like be able to see it and not freak out. You know, if we get scared when we see this card, or if we, you know, if there's a trigger there, we've got to work with that, and we need to go in and shine the light into it and love it, right? But it's like we have to see it to know how our minds and our consciousness get veiled. And a lot of times it is from external sources. We need to really just be aware of what, you know, what the media does, and to take positive action and resource information that is helpful and it's going to educate us, you know. That's not just going to brainwash us, but it's going to educate us to take practical, pragmatic steps for healthy living. And, you know, the star card, this is, you know, this is our future, you know, and we need to like clean it up. It's time to like, you know, I see so much positive news on my Facebook stream. I don't know what's happening lately, but I'm just seeing so much positive news. And my Facebook somehow has become the zone of just like the positive news network for me. And I'm so grateful for that. It's been this kind of shift that's happened recently. And yeah, we just need to like clean it up. And I was seeing like these huge beach cleanups in Bali, and just all these beautiful nature things, and humanity helping each other out, you know, coming into communion with the natural world, and just so many aspects of like the potential for goodness and love and community and connection, and the web of life recognizing itself in each other. It's so beautiful. And the coupling card with the star is the Magician. And let's make magic. Let's make magic happen. We have all the resources that we need. You know, it's not like we need more. We are each equipped. I'm equipped with what I need to share with you in this moment, and to just trust that, you know, whatever words come out, there might be a phrase or a little nugget that will like land somehow in your consciousness that will give you the little insight to like, you know, seed and pollinate the goodness, right? And so that Magician just says, you know, earth, air, fire, water, you know, we have all the equipment we need with these fully functioning human bodies and brains and pumping hearts, and create. And let's do this. Let's take, you know, let's clean it up, right? That Virgo full moon, it's like very, very deep. It's a deep clean time, deep cleaning time. And just be more aware of how you're expelling yourself into your environments, and what you're picking up in your environments. That's mentally, that's physically, emotionally, spiritually. Clean it up. Take those action steps. So just like click it into gear on another positive level, and build. You know, brick by brick. Build the life, and we're building it together. Okay, so this is a long one. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon.